Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Saturday. Oh my gosh, it is such a beautiful day outside. It feels like early fall. I have to be honest, I love the summer weather. I love the heat, I love going to the pool and all of that. And I've had such a great summer. I was saying this the other day about I've had so much fun going to the pool. We went on vacation. It's been such a great summer. I am kind of ready for the colder months now. I'm kind of ready for the colder months of sitting inside and drinking tea and coffee and the wind blowing. The wind is like, it's really blustery today. I actually, I saw online that the Indiana State Fair, so they do like a balloon race. I don't know, maybe today's the first day of the Indiana State Fair or something, I don't know, but they do this like balloon race. And so they put up this statement that because of how windy it is, that the airport said because of the wind gusts or whatever, that they can't do the balloon race or whatever it is today. They can just put them up and tether them, but they can't like let them go. And I was like, how windy is it? And so then when I came out here, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like really windy, because I did my prayers and meditations and stuff inside. So anyway, I did my prayers and meditations and then like brought them outside and everything, and it was like really windy, and it was actually, it's gotten a little bit warmer since I got them up, took them out, fed them, took them out again, and we were just sitting inside. Alex is watching Gossip Girl, and I was laying on the couch, and I was like, you know what, I said to him, so we'll get to this in a second, but I do not feel great today. And I did not sleep great last night. I woke up with a lot of anxiety, but also I'm kind of hurting. I'll be honest with you, I don't really know what it is. Either I have like a stomach bug. I can't really tell where it is, and it kind of keeps on shifting. So I'm like, please God, do not let me be passing another kidney stone. I'm like, when they did all the scans and stuff with my past kidney stone, they saw that there was like another stone in there, but he was like, I don't think that it's ever going to be like big enough that you'll have to pass it. He's like, but it's a possibility, you could, you know. And I think I had a couple stones or something, but they were all like really, really small. And I'm like, please don't let me be passing another kidney stone. Like I cannot go through that right now with training these pups and stuff like that. I cannot go through passing a kidney stone. But I know it sounds strange to say that like the kidney stone, like, is it stomach pain, or is it like, do I have like a stomach bug, or is it like a kidney stone? But that's kind of how it started for me originally, was that it was like lower abdominal pain, and then it kind of went up to my stomach. Well, it felt like it went up to my stomach. So anyway, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with me, but I do not feel great today. So we were just like laying there, and I was drinking some water, and I was playing with Walter, and Otis was like playing with his little bone thing, his little chicken apple bone thing. Which, whatever that brand is, I looked online, they have a whole line of, they're bones, but they're not made from rawhide, they're made from like chicken or apple and things like that, so they're healthy for dogs. And, so anyway, they have like they have like teething rings, they have all kinds of stuff. So I ordered a couple of them today. The teething rings, the teething sticks came today, actually, and then I got teething rings as well, and some more. These little, like, knotted bones. I'll show them in there. Actually, they look like little dogs or little people or something. Anyway, I don't know what the brand is, but so they were laying there, and they were like eating their little bones and stuff like that. And so I said to Alex, I said, I feel better now than when I first got up. When I first got up, I was really, really, like, I did not feel good. And I was like, and he was like, are you okay? I had woken up earlier, and I was like, I don't feel good. I don't know what's going on. And he was like, is it bad? I said, yeah, it's like bad. Like, I don't know what's going on. And it started like kind of late last night when I was watching TV. My stomach just started kind of like rumbling a little bit. And, well, I have a new favorite coffee. I've had it forever. But I've been drinking a little bit of it, like, I'd had it earlier in the evening, like at 11. I'd had a cup of that Bustelo espresso. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't remember if I got it for the espresso tonics or if I already had it. I think I already had it. But I made a cup 2 nights ago. I actually sent it to Nikki, and I was like, you have to get this. It's so good. It's been around. This brand has been around forever, Bustelo. But anyway, you can get it in the ground coffee for espresso. You can make it in the K-Pods. I made it in the K-Pod. The taste of it is so good. It is so good. But it is very acidy. And so I drank that earlier in the evening. I didn't want to drink it later because I was like, I'll be up all night long. And so then later when my stomach hurt, I thought, well, was it from the espresso? Because last night when my stomach hurt, it just kind of hurt a little bit. And it wasn't like as bad. But then like I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I woke up early and my stomach was hurting so bad. And I was like, please just go away. So anyway, I feel better now, but I still don't feel great at all. So I think this afternoon, we're going to watch a Final Destination movie today, and we're going to watch Orange County probably, and maybe some other movies. And I started watching Broadchurch last night, so I want to see if I can finish the first season today. I'm like in love with it. I kind of thought like when I started it last night, I was like, have I watched this before? But we'll get to that in just a second. So anyway, I told Alex, I said, he was like, are you wanting to film any videos today? And I said, I'm not really in the mood to film any other videos, but I do want to film my vlog. I said, I think I'm going to go film my vlog right now. Just so that like I can get a good vlog in, and then I can just relax the rest of the day and we can watch shows and stuff. Okay, the sad thing is that at Trader Joe's yesterday, I bought this. I've had it before and I love it because I wanted some treats to watch movies this weekend. I bought this caramel, what's it called? Caramel peanut butter popcorn. And then the everything but the bagel. I usually get just the crackers now because they're like not as like fattening and stuff like that. But I did get this week, or yesterday with Alex, I got, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I got, oh, and he's going to get his car washed today. Well, if it's going to rain, he probably won't do that. Well, we'll go out a little bit later because I've got to run a few errands, but we can probably do that tomorrow during the day. I don't know if we're going to go to brunch tomorrow. Because we also have, I don't know. Well, I have no idea what we're doing tomorrow. We have this concert tomorrow night, which will have a lot to do with how I'm feeling. Because if I'm not feeling great, I'm not going to go to this concert. But hopefully I'll feel better this afternoon. I mean, I feel better now than when I first got up. So anyway, I'm just kind of like, I'm just like thinking out loud right now. But I got those cream cheese, so they're like, they look like little bagels with cream cheese in the middle of them. Got those from Trader Joe's. And then I got this dulce de leche ice cream. And I got something else too. I can't remember, I got something else. Oh, I got this waffle candy bar. It's like peanut butter and chocolate waffle candy bar that Caroline got at Trader Joe's one time, and she said it's so good. And so if we're going to watch movies, Alex is going to want to run out. He'll want to run out and get some like candy and some treats. So he has made grilled cheese sandwiches. He's like, do you want some grilled cheese sandwiches? I was like, no, I'm not hungry right now. My stomach is hurting. So I've got like 2 errands I have to run. So anyway, but I'm like not hungry at all today. Like I'm like, when my stomach hurts, I just am not wanting to eat. So hopefully my stomach will feel a little bit better. And if it does, I will be the bad patient and I will turn around and eat all this crap because I got it and it sounds good. But anyway, so this is a really, really early vlog today. It is currently 1:06 p.m. and the temperature outside, I have no idea what it is. Can you hear the lawnmower and stuff like that? Ooh, it's 75 degrees outside. It says it feels like 75. What's it supposed to be tomorrow? Tomorrow it's supposed to be 82. It's supposed to be 77 for a high today. 82 tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. Yeah. So, when I come out here, well, now that I'm getting up, it's kind of changed in the last week a little bit. Some days I've done it, some days I haven't. But now, like, so when I get out of bed, I immediately, like, go downstairs and get them and... So the new crate came, did I tell you guys that? So the new crate that's going to go in the bedroom came, so they're probably going to start sleeping in the bedroom with us. They love that crate, though. That was Boo and Tucker's crate. They love it. I've got like 6 blankets in there and all these toys and stuff like that. We've got lights down there. They love it down there. When I went to get them this morning, they were both still asleep in there. It was so cute. I posted this picture on Instagram last night. If you guys don't look at my Instagram or follow my Instagram, hold on a second. This was them next to me last night, sleeping, and Walter had his arm over Otis while they were sleeping. Isn't that so sweet? Hold on a second, and then, well, you can see my foot in the background. I sent this to Nikki last night, and she goes, what about that foot? Because my foot was, so anyway, this is Walter on my leg as he was sleeping last night. They were so sweet. And then I screenshot all these shows. And then Do you remember when Boo Radley would stand in the glass door? Do you remember when I would talk about that? So I was talking to Tawny Jane last night, and Walter was standing in the doorway looking at me. She's like, send me a picture. I said, it's so cute, Tawny Jane. And then, this was them sleeping next to me when I was watching TV yesterday. So look at this Walter hanging over Otis last night. I mean, they sit beside each other all the time, you guys. Where's the picture where they're sitting up? They're so cute. So anyway, oh, so the little bed I was like, yesterday I was doing something and I was like, I've now since moved this little bed, but the littlest bed is like this big. And I was like, I put it up because I put it up on top of this table that's like Alex's desk for his meetings. Well, when he had his meeting yesterday morning, he moved it down to like where the fireplace is. Well, yesterday I was sitting there and I was like, Otis was like in front of me and I was like, where is Walter? And I couldn't see him. He was like in the little bed hiding over there. They're so good. They are so sweet. Here they are in bed kissing each other. Anyway, they are just such good little boys. Look at them here hanging out in the bed. Anyway, this is kind of helping me feel a little bit better. So good. Whenever I film any kind of video, if I'm not feeling great, like it distracts me from that, and especially when I vlog and I just sit here, it's something about sitting in this chair that just is like so relaxing and comforting to me. My neighbor's leaving. Their son is visiting from out of town, and so this is their newest grandchild. They now have 4 grandsons. So they're visiting, he and his wife and their grandson are visiting for the weekend he just told me, he looks just like his dad. I mean, I've known him since I moved in here, but, and like in the last 3, I think he got married like 3 years ago. Then he and his wife just had a baby. They live a couple hours north from here, closer to Chicago. And so they're in town for another cousin's like baby shower. I said, you need to move down here so the grandma and grandpa can babysit for you too. And they started laughing. But so he got to meet the pups today. It's really nice that like so many people are like wanting to meet them because they're like getting like really socialized and meeting people. And this one woman in the neighborhood, I don't even really know her that well. And I had him out here, and it was when I was doing the leash training in the driveway. And she pulled up at the end of the driveway, and she like and I like turned around, and she was like getting out of her car, and she was like, oh my God, so-and-so told me that you got these new little guys. Can I come and see them? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And so she got out of her car, and I don't even know this woman very well. And I mean, I've seen her at the pool like once or twice and whatever. And like when she walks by, sometimes I'll say hi to her, but I don't know her really well. And she was like, oh my God, she's like, they're so sweet, blah, 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 whatever. I was like, thanks. So anyway, she was really friendly, but yeah, everybody's been so nice about the whole thing. So anyway, my neighbor, I was explaining to him, because when his son came up, he goes, what's his name? And my neighbor goes, that's Walter. It's Walter Cunningham. And so I said, oh my God, I can't believe you remember that. I mean, they know the book, To Kill a Mockingbird. And so Walter Cunningham, Walter is from, and he goes, is he named after the senior or the junior? And I looked at him and I go, do you remember the book that well? He goes, no, after you told me. He goes, I went and I like looked it up. I Googled it. And I go, he's named after the junior. And so if you've ever seen the movie or read the book, the movie, To Kill a Mockingbird, Walter Cunningham, at the very beginning of it, Scout, like Jim's up in the treehouse and Scout's running around. And Walter Cunningham comes and brings, I can't remember, there's some kind of nuts that he brings. And it says the entailment. And she asks, so she's like, do you want me to go get my daddy so you can, he can say thanks? And he's like, no. And so she says something to her dad about Mr. Cunningham. And he said, well, he can't pay us with money, so this is the way that he pays us. And she says, are the Cunninghams poor? And he goes, yeah. And she says, are we poor? And he says, we are indeed. And she goes, are we as poor as the Cunninghams? And he says, no. He says, I don't know why this is going to start making me cry. I mean, like, the beginning of that movie and everything just always reminds me of my mom and, like, growing up and stuff like that. And I can remember asking my mom and talking about these questions. But he said, no. He said, the Cunninghams are country folk. The crash hit them the hardest. Talking about, like, the Depression, and the stock market crash. And so that's Walter Cunningham Sr. And then when Tom Robinson is in the jail overnight, and all the men come to kill him, Scout goes there. Scout and Jim and Dill go there to see what's going on, and Scout's the one that runs up, and she says to Walter Cunningham Sr., she says, don't you remember that one morning you brought the nuts to my dad, the entailment? They call it entailment in the book, in the movie. And she says, I'm friends with your boy. I'm friends with Walter. He's a nice boy. And she says, tell him I said hi. And then he's the one that gets everybody to leave because he sees her innocence. It's such a powerful scene in any movie I've ever seen. But then she gets in a fight with his son, Walter Cunningham, at school. And so Jim stops the fight, and Jim says, well, our daddy's friends with your daddy. Why don't you come to our house for lunch? And he doesn't want to at first because the Cunninghams are proud people, and so they don't take anything from anybody. And so he comes back to their house for lunch, and Calpurnia serves like some kind of roast or something like that, and potatoes and carrots. And he asks for the syrup. He's like, can I have the syrup, please? And so it's such a cute scene. Atticus like watches Scout because she's like, why is he asking for the syrup for the roast? And there's a whole scene in there too. I forgot about that whole part too, where Jim wants a gun so bad, a hunting gun. And he says to Walter, he says, your daddy let you have a gun? And he says, yeah. And he goes, how long have you had a gun for? And he goes, I don't know, since I can't remember what he says, 9 or 10 or something like that. And he asks Atticus how old he was when he first got a gun. He goes, 11 or 12 or something like that. But, which is interesting because later in the show, if you haven't seen it, there's like a rabid dog. And so Atticus has to like shoot this rabid dog. And Jim's like, no, my daddy can't shoot. And they don't know. Like, and this is from the book. It's a big part of the book, but not so much in the movie. I mean, it's a big part in the movie, but in the book, it's even a bigger part. That Atticus is known as like the best shot in the county. Like, they call him something. His nickname is like, in the book, they don't say his nickname in the movie. Maudie, the neighbor, is the one that calls him it. What is Atticus's nickname? One shot something. Maudie, I think, is the one. Miss Maudie. I love her so much. I always wanted them to get together. Anyway, Atticus is... I think in the book, like in the movie... Is she a widow? Why can't I remember? In the book, I think she's a widow or she has a husband. In the movie, they don't really explain it. Atticus Finch nickname. I don't want to put my reading glasses on right now. If you wear reading glasses, do you ever just get tired to put them on, taking them off? I feel like I do it all the time. I understand now why back in the day librarians would wear them around their neck. In Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, Nell Harper Lee. In Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, Atticus Finch's nickname is Old One Shot or One Shot Finch. I was right. This nickname was given to him in his younger days due to the exceptional marksmanship skills, particularly his ability to accurately shoot with just one shot. The nickname is revealed in Chapter 10 when Atticus is called upon to shoot a rabid dog. Who gives him the nickname? Who says the nickname? Oh, here it is. He was also known as One Shot Finch. Miss Maudie tells the kids that Atticus was the best marksman in the county. It was Miss Maudie. Aww. Let's look her up. Was she a widow? Miss Maudie, To Kill a Mockingbird. Miss Maudie Atkinson is a character in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, a widowed neighbor in the 40s. She lives across the street from the Finches and has a long history with the family. Kind, witty, and sensible woman. You know what I'm thinking now? If I ever got a girl dog, I think I would call her Miss Maudie. I cannot tell you how many people, when I started talking about the names, DM'd me and said I should get 2 dogs and name them Atticus and Calpurnia. I think Calpurnia is probably one of my favorite characters in any book ever. In the movie, she's fantastic, but in the book, I mean, Calpurnia is like, she's fantastic in the book. But Miss Maudie, oh, I always wanted Miss Maudie and Atticus to get together. But anyway, but he told me that his name's not actually Walter. He goes, if you look it up, it's William. And I don't remember that from the book. Walter Cunningham. Oh, I just remember something I wanted to say about the lawnmowers. To Kill Mockingbird. Okay, y'all want to see? Here he is. Here he is eating at the table, asking for the syrup. Now, doesn't that just kind of look like Walter, my dog? A little bit. I mean, he's just kind of like the blonde hair and stuff like that. Anyway. Walter Cunningham Jr. is a character in To Kill a Mockingbird who is almost Jim's age, but is Scout's first grade class. The Great Depression severely impacted his family, leaving them extremely poor and unable to afford extra food or money. On the first day of school, Walter arrives without shoes or lunch. Oh, that's why they get into a fight. Because the teacher asks Scout, I forgot about that, why he doesn't have any shoes or lunch. And she tried to explain to the she says, dang teacher or something like that. The Cunninghams are poor and they don't have no money. However, Scout notes that he is clean and wears clean clothes, unlike the Yules. Oh, I forgot that that's why. And the teacher gets mad at her. And that's why they get, and she was trying to defend him. That's why they get into a fight. I totally forgot about that. God, I've only seen the movie 9 million times. Peter Monn is a liar. He's never seen To Kill a Mockingbird. I can see it now. I can see it now. Oh, the lawnmower thing. So that's what I was starting to say earlier. I haven't done that. So today is 1 week since the dogs have come home to us. And it's been a good week. I'm starting to... I didn't sleep great last night because I didn't feel good. And the anxiety is still a lot. I was talking to Tanya about it last night. Tanya got home last night. So we talked for probably about 45 minutes to an hour last night. We talked. And she was telling me all about the lake. And we were catching up and stuff. But I was telling her about the anxiety this week. And she said, well, puppies are a lot of work. And I was like, yeah, I knew. I was, prepared for that and stuff like that. I said, but, it's like, I'm constantly, worried. Are they into something? If, whatever. And she's like, it was so weird because I'd said this I even said to her, I said, oh my God, I just said that in my vlog the other day. She said, does it remind you of, when Boo got sick and you were, watching him, every second? Because she was, really worried about me. Well, everybody was at that time. Because I just was so hyper-focused on Boo, And, I was like, yeah, it does remind me of that a little bit. But anyway, I've talked about this so many times on here. Pre the dogs, I would get up and I would come out here with a glass of water. I'm having a glass of water today. I haven't had any coffee yet today because I'm trying to make my, see if my stomach will settle down a little bit before I have any coffee or anything. You know what? I had that fountain pop yesterday. And then, what did Alex and I watch yesterday? We watched... No, I watched something. So when I got done vlogging yesterday, he fell asleep real early. We were going to watch Final Destination in Orange County last night. And when I went in last night, he was just hanging out in the bed and stuff like that. And so he was kind of falling asleep. He was on the side looking. I was like, are you tired? And he's like, yeah, I'm super tired. I can't remember. And I was like, well, I'm going to go eat something. I said, did you want to watch a movie tonight? He's like, he was like, do you care if we move it tomorrow? He's like, I'm really tired. I was like, are you going to go to bed early? He's like, yeah, I think I'm going to go to bed early. And I was like, because he hasn't slept a whole lot this week. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So he went to bed real early last night. I think he was in bed and asleep by 7:30 last night. So, and I went up at some point and took a nap. I don't even know what time it was. It was when the dogs fell asleep. Because I was texting Nikki and I said, I feel like while they're asleep right now is when I should take a nap. So I did. And then I got up and watched some shows and stuff last night. But what was I saying? So anyway, prior to getting the dogs, I would, come out here and I would do my prayers, my meditations before I ever picked up the phone. That's kind of been my thing. That is really... It's interesting, some of the lessons I've learned in life that have helped me so much. Okay, the plane right now is really, just listen. I don't know why listening to that reminds me of the movie Out of Africa, which my mom absolutely I love it too. I haven't seen it in so long. If you've never seen Out of Africa, it's fantastic. Did I watch that for Peter's Movie Club last year? Maybe I did. I can't remember. Anyway. Well, I'll get to the lessons in a second, because my stories are starting to overlap again, as it often happens in my vlogs. But I think it was our previous therapist that recommended it to me, that like in the mornings, getting up and, you know, doing my prayers and meditations, and then asking myself, are you ready to start your day? And not really starting my day until I ask myself, are you ready to start your day? And some days I'm not. And you know, thankfully I have the ability to do that. It's not like I have to walk right into a work, like a job or something. I can take the time that I want to. Most days I feel pretty ready to start my day. But, you know, some days I'll be like, no, it's not even that, like, I'm, like, because, you know, people will be like, you're always so positive. I'm not always so positive. I'm just not. You know, sometimes I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and I have to kind of, like, pull it together and use my tools and skills and stuff. But I think taking that time in the morning, and in all honesty, sitting out here and doing my prayers and meditations, my prayers are done in less than 5 minutes. If I read a meditation book or two, that probably takes me another 5 minutes. Then I do a gratitude list. So, and I do it in my head. That probably takes me about a minute or two. So you're talking at most about 10 to 12 minutes of, like, conscious time. That really sets the foundation for the entire rest of my day. My prayers and my gratitude list, minus reading a meditation book, I could do anywhere. I could do it on a subway. I could do it in the back of an Uber. I could do it anywhere. Who's texting me? Aww. Oh my God. Liliana just sent the family group text. Carlitos' pictures for like his first day of school pictures, and he has to have like an ID. And he's in 7th grade. Oh my God, he looks so grown up. It's so crazy because when he was younger, he looked so much like his dad. Like, he looked like Carlos. And as he's getting older, he looks a lot like his mom. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Sebastian is in 4th grade. Tails in 4th grade, nothing. God, it seems like yesterday that those kids were born. That has been one of the greatest lessons I've learned in my life. To pause before I start my day and just, like, ask myself, like, am I really ready to start my day? Am I really, you know? And like I said, luckily, I don't have a job where I have to, like, walk right into it. I'm able to do that, you know? I think even now, if I didn't have the ability to, like, it's not like, you know, at, like, 10 o'clock on the dot, I have to start filming a video. You know what I mean? If my goal is, like, I'm going to start filming at, like, 11 or 12, and I start filming at 12:30, it's no big thing. Like, maybe I just don't get as many videos filmed that day, or maybe I don't get to do something I want. You know what I mean? Like, so, and thankfully, that's because of you guys that watch my videos that I am able to have that schedule. But I think if that weren't my life today, I think that if I still, like, was getting up and going to work every day and whatever, I think that knowing that it's that little time, you know, I mean, I've prayed everywhere. I've prayed, and I'm not saying that you have to be a religious spirit. I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person, that you have to be that, whatever. I mean, it just could be positive affirmations that you're putting out there in the world. Yours could look like, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of my prayer does look like this. And, like, today's going to be a good day. Today I'm going to get a lot of accomplished. Today I'm going to be focused. Today I'm going to stay in peace and calm, and I'm not going to allow myself to get rattled and things like that. Today I'm going to be kind and compassionate. You know, like, I think those aren't necessarily prayers. Those are affirmations for how the day is going to go. But, I mean, I've prayed, you know, like, sitting here in the chair a lot. I've prayed, you know, taking the past dogs out, taking the current dogs out. You know, I've prayed late at night. I've prayed early in the morning. But a lot of it is just, like, conscious conversation with the universe or the higher power or whatever. But that focus in the morning, like I said, if I was still working, like, you know, a 9 to 5 kind of thing, which was never, mine was 8 to 4:30, and then a couple days was different than that. But if I still did that, I think I would try to take the 12 minutes in the morning to do it, because it really does change my entire outlook for the day. That's probably been one of the most valuable lessons I've ever had in my life. So now what I'm trying to do is when I am still laying in bed and I get up, I do it before I go get the dogs and start the day. So that's what I've done. The camera stopped. That's what I've been doing for the last week. It's like when I lay in bed and I wake up, like I do my, I mean, it doesn't even take, my prayers probably take 2-3 minutes. And then, you know, I do a little gratitude list and then I go down and get them. But before this week, and I'm sure I'll get back to this, before this, I'll probably, you know, take them out, feed them, then come out here and sit and do my stuff when they're a little bit more used to the schedule. But when I would sit out here, I would do all that, but then I would sit for a couple minutes before I started my day, and I would just listen to all the sounds of the world. The wind blowing, somebody mowing lawn. I could hear, like, a lot I always hear, like, people playing on the tennis courts, you know, or splashing in the pool, or the plane overhead, or there's, like, a car coming down the street right now. You can hear this, like, it's one of those cars that sounds like a spaceship. Do you hear it? Those cars are crazy, aren't they? Or is it a delivery truck? Some of the delivery trucks sound like that, too. But I just listen to all of it, and I look at all of it, and I think, like, it was interesting because I was looking up, like, ways to, like, overcome anxiety and stuff like that. I look it up probably about every month. And one of them was, like, sitting in nature and being present in nature, and it, like, grounds you. And I was like, it's so true. It really does with me. But I've said this so many times, but just, like, the sun is coming down now. It's, like, shining on my legs and my feet, and it feels so nice. But just, like, sitting here and looking at the trees and the bushes and the birds and the sky, and it really right-sizes me. And what I mean by that is that it makes me realize how small I am in the whole grand universe of it all, right? But I think it also puts in perspective for me, like, I'm just putting this on a personal level. I think I allow myself to be, well, I have in the past, to be consumed or allow myself to get very negative about really small things that in the grand scheme of things don't really matter. You know, that, like, at the end of my life, if I have the opportunity, if you have the opportunity at the end of your life to look back and be like, these are the ways that I spent my days and my time, like, you know, am I going to be... Oh, Alvarez texting the family group chat now. You know, are these going to be the ways that... I don't know, it's like, for me, it's a good way to start the day because I just look at all of it, you know, and I think, I get to be part of this, you know? I get another day alive. I'm grateful for another day alive. Before my gratitude list, I'd always say I'm thankful for my life, my health, and my sobriety, and my relationship. Well, then it was my relationship with a higher power. Now, preceding all of that, I always say, thank you for another day alive to experience this world and experience this life. And I don't take that for granted, not for 1 second. And how I spend it and where I put my energy. And if I choose to stay in the present moment or what I choose to enjoy for that day and all that kind of stuff, you know? So anyway, but I haven't really been doing that a whole lot this week because I lay in bed and then, you know, I take the dogs out, I bring them in, I feed them and all kind of stuff. So it was interesting because I was talking about how fast Walter eats, and a couple people commented and said I need to get him like a slow feeder or whatever. I'll ask about that. But I'm open to any suggestions, honestly. I mean, we haven't had puppies in forever, so I'm open to any suggestions. But what was weird about it is, and this often happens on my vlog, I talked about it, and then today I was standing there in the kitchen, and I noticed that he ate a slower than he had been eating the last couple days. So I don't know, maybe he's just getting used to the house, you know? Like, when we were in there today, so there's kind of like, I kind of have this routine now. Like, so I get them out, and then I take them out right away. And then they kind of like, you know, do their business and, you know, walk around the yard and stuff like that. They wind around the trees with the leashes, which is hilarious. The chipmunks are going back and forth. By the way, Otis, Walter doesn't pay it any attention, but Otis, this chipmunk hole over here, he is obsessed with it. Like, every time they come in, he's like obsessed with it. So then after I take them out initially, and they usually just like pee first, and then I bring them in, and then I feed them, and then like right after they're done being fed, first, well, it kind of depends on the day. Like today, like Alex was down there, he was making grilled cheeses, and so I said I'm gonna take Walter out, because like Walter starts getting real antsy after he eats. So I took him out. This is all in the matter of about 15-20 minutes, okay? I took Walter out, and he pooped like right away. And then then he wanted to come back in because he was like, he misses Otis. They're so cute, you guys. They're constantly like looking for the other one if one of them's like, anyway. So I brought him back inside. By then, Otis was just finishing up his lunch. So I put the bowls up, and then I brought both of them out here, and then Otis pooped, and they both peed. And I brought him inside, and then by then Alex was done with his grilled cheeses. And he's like, what are you going to do? And I said, I think I'm just going to sit here and relax for a little bit, because my stomach is feeling a lot better right now. This vlog, y'all have helped me with my stomach problems. Next time I feel sick, I'm just going to vlog. You are the miracle workers of the world. And Laura actually asked me earlier, so, girl, let me tell you about this book reading thing, okay? So, last night Laura texted me. She said, I was going to ask if you wanted to go to swim tonight, but it's probably pretty chilly. Last night it was cold. I brought them out late last night, so they fell asleep next to me at like 1:30, and then they woke up at like 2:30 wanting to go out. And so I took them outside. It was cold last night at 2:30. I mean, cold for like July. Well, it's August now. It was cold. So I said, I would love to, but I think it's going to be cold. And then today she said, oh my God, it's gorgeous out. I'm going to sit outside a little bit later and read. I might, if Alex takes a nap or something later, I might sit outside with her and read. But she's referring to the Alien Barbarian books. We were supposed to read the whole series this summer. She hasn't even finished chapter 1 yet, okay? I'm like 3/4 of the way through that book. She said, it's gorgeous out, and I'm going to sit outside a bit later and read. I feel like we should have... Are you ready for this? I feel like we should have our first meeting after a good chunk of it, like the first quarter or half. What do you think? I'm like, girl, it is August. What are you talking about, our book club? When I get done with this vlog, I'm gonna walk over there. I'm gonna be like, girl, I'm gonna have her, she's gonna be in stitches laughing, because I'm gonna be like, we were gonna read this book the first 2 weeks. I said, sounds good. I'm just gonna walk over there and say it to her. I said, I'm not feeling great today, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be sitting outside later, but I might later. I'll keep you updated. It is gorgeous out, though. But you know what auto-corrected? I put, I'll keep you updated, and it says, I'll marry you updated, and Mary is M-E-R-I. And do you know why it auto-corrected to that? Mary. There's only one Mary in the entire world that I know that spells her name M-E-R-I. Who knows it? I know somebody out there is already typing it in. It's Mary Brown from Sister Wives. She's the only Mary that I know that spells her name that way. And don't call me Truly Brown. So, anyway. My stomach still hurts, but it just doesn't hurt as bad as it did. I don't feel like it's like a kidney stone. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to that because that's the last thing that I had. You know? Who knows? This chair is spinning again. I need to just hold on to this table. And I love it. It just centers me. You know what's crazy is, and a lot of you guys have been, I mean, you guys are always so nice, but so many of you have commented and been like, Peter, you just seem so much happier. I still haven't started using the new tripod yet. But you're like, Peter, you seem so much happier. You seem so much more at peace. There's a sparkle in your eye. You know, even amidst, like, dealing with the anxiety, even amidst dealing with the anxiety this week, like, I do feel so much happier, you know? And I think the more that they, like, just kind of get you, my new neighbors just came to their house, get used to, like, the house and the schedule and stuff like that, and they're chewers, though. I'll tell you, they are chewers. They're real into the carpet on the stairs. The redirection is, they're real into the carpet. And then what's so funny is I'll be like, because I'm like, literally they'll be gone for like 2 minutes. And I'll be like, where are they? And I'll like go walk in the other room. You know, I'll be like in the kitchen doing something. I'll walk in the other room and they'll be on the stairs. And I'll be like, they'll hear me and they'll go, with like carpet hanging out of their mouth. So I got this gate thing, you know, one of those gate things to go in front of the stairs, so that when we're just like downstairs with the gate up. But no, they're really good. I mean, they redirect so well, and I mean all the training, so the crate training, the leash training, they're doing better on. They still don't love it. They don't love it, but they're doing better on it. So I got to get back into my walks. My goal, well, it won't happen tomorrow night because we have the concert. My goal, either tonight, if I feel better, we'll probably watch the Final Destination movie as soon as I get done with this vlog. I'll probably go inside and we'll watch it right now, even though it's like so early in the afternoon. But we've got Orange County to watch too. I really want to watch Orange County. Now I'm starting to get hungry, but my stomach still hurts. I don't want to eat something while my stomach hurts. I just can't imagine that it's something that I ate from yesterday, because I literally ate the same boring old crap that I eat every single day from Trader Joe's. It is getting kind of boring now. So what I typically eat is the Mediterranean orzo salad. It's like this big from Trader Joe's. And then I eat 1/2 of the creamy hummus wrap. And then I'll have some of the crackers. And then I have like some plant-based, that jerky. And then I sometimes have cottage cheese and sometimes I don't. That's usually what I eat for dinner every single night. Every single night. I mean, it's good. I like it. I've been like that my entire life. Like Tanya always jokes with me about it. She's like, you do one thing. Like, remember Piata? Maggiano's. Like, there's Cheesecake Factory. Like, there's one thing that Einstein Bagels forever I did. Subway I did forever. There's always like, what's the other one? Oh, Puccini's I did for a long. Oh, Puccini sounds so good tonight. Maybe, can my stomach handle a pizza from Puccini's? I think it might be able to. But like, I'll get like on this kick where like there's one food. Do you ever do this? But there's one food and it's like, oh my God, remember the chips and the onion dip? People still comment to me about that. People still message me and be like, oh my God, I still eat those ruffled chips and the onion dip. You got me hooked on it. You know who told me about that? I don't know why. I was like, who was the last person that told me about it? So the guy that we met when we were in Mexico, he and his husband, he's currently visiting Ireland right now. He has the most fantastic life. Anyway, he has sent me some really, really sweet messages about the pups and stuff like that. He and his husband were so nice. It was so, all the people that we met when we were in Mexico on this last trip were just so fantastic. They were so nice. I don't even know who. Oh, it's my neighbor on the corner. I was like, who is that that's driving by? They usually take his car, but they took her car apparently. Yeah, oh, it is them. She's getting out. It cracks me up in this neighborhood, like, what people do. I've actually teased her about this before. Because, oh, she's got one of her cute little sundresses on. Maybe they're just running in to get something. Because they usually, like, now they're parking in the driveway. Because usually, like, she'll get out and then he'll pull the car, because it's like their cars are side by side in the garage. And so then he'll pull the car in and then she walks into the garage that way. Because the garages here are small. Ours is not just the only small one. The 2-car garages are small here too. Oh, but when we were talking in the pool in Mexico, I can't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about snacks or something. I don't even know how we got talking about snacks. I still need to review. He gave me these chocolates for my birthday, and I brought them back here specifically to review because I thought it would be like cute to do that because it was so nice for him. He like brought those chocolates for my birthday anyway. I thought it would be so nice. So I've got them in there. I've got to review those chocolates this week. And now, because Marissa sent me the Milano cookies, the London Fogs, I have those to review. I have like 5 or 6 things to review this week. And after August, you know, like the Halloween stuff will be coming out and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, but when we were talking about snacks or whatever, he said something to me about, you got me hooked on the onion, I think it was him. Was it him that said that to me? I mean, it's not like I hardly ever meet anybody that watches my videos, but he said, you got me hooked on those potato chips. I think the ruffled ones was what I was eating at the time. And the onion dip. Oh my God, that sounds so good right now. You want to talk about making your stomach hurt? Oh my God. That onion dip, I mean, it'll set you free. It is in more ways than one. It is so good though. Tanya used to make this dip back in the day. I would have to ask her what's in it. It's powdered ranch. So it's a packet of powdered ranch. What else does she put in it? I was going to say mayonnaise, but I don't think it's mayonnaise. Maybe it is onion dip or something that she puts. But anyway, she mixes it all up. Oh my god, you dip vegetables and chips and everything in it. It is like the best dip in the... Why do I feel like she puts cottage cheese in it too? It is the best dip in the entire world, but oh my god, you want to talk about wrecking your stomach. I should call her up right now and be like, Tanya Jean, what is that dip that you used to make back in the day? We got laughing so hard on the phone last night. Nikki and I got laughing last night on the phone too. I texted her, I said, we were shading each other last night. I was telling her I was starting Broadchurch, and I said, P.S., do you realize we have the best text thread in town? She goes, we do. People should be jealous. I said they are. Oh, she's finally watching Mayor of Easttown, because she said she didn't know Evan Peters was in it. I was sending her pictures of the dog, and she's like, oh my god, they are so the cutest. They love each other so much. We were being shady to each other last night. Oh, okay, so... I was trying, okay, she's tried Mayor of Easttown 3 times. This is what Nikki says to me on the phone, okay? She'll say, I was like, what is shining up there? You can't see it, but it's like, I was like, it's my phone shining up on the wall. Shine bright. Here, let me see if you can. Now, of course, it won't do this. Ah, look at that. Shine bright like a diamond. Magic tricks with Peter. Anyway, Nikki's always like, I need a really good mystery to watch, okay? So I give her like 6 of them. And then I'll be like, I'll text her and be like, what are you watching? Which last night we were going to watch Life After Lockup started last night. But we decided we were going to watch it tonight instead. Neither one of us was really in the mood for it last night. So I'll give her like 4 or 5 different fantastic thrillers. And then I'll be like, what are you watching? And she'll say, this show that I found that came out in 1988 on Tubi. It's called She Didn't Do It. It looks so good. I'm like, you asked me for a great thriller. I gave you like 5. I just really couldn't get into those. So she's tried Mayor of Easttown. Is it Easton? I don't know. But anyway, she's tried it 3 times before. First of all, I said, girl, you need to put down your TikTok. Okay, you need to pay, it's a show you need to pay attention to. Okay, you can't just be on your TikTok all the time. Now, I play my slot game. Y'all want to see my slot game? Okay, I play my slot game while I watch my shows. But if I'm watching like an intense thriller, here's my slot game. It's all lightning strikes. Oh, there's some... Hey, how are you? Good. He rode right on past. I didn't get any mail today. But it's all lightning strikes. So if you go to the casino... Now, you don't play for no real money. I have to pay to have coins on this thing, okay? I gotta pay to have coins. Here, I'll show you. The coins are expensive. Like, you don't win nothing. It's not like real online betting or nothing like that. It's just a game is what you... To play for the game. Hold on. Going through all this. Okay, see, they have these exclusive deals, okay? Like, for $199, you can get 281 million coins. Okay, but you know what? Right now, I have... Oh, my lord, am I down that low? I have 138 million. See, here, there's more deals. Now I feel like I should get one of those deals. Should I, though? But anyway, I don't get the deals till I'm real low. And I don't be spending no $200 either. But anyway, so if you go to the casino, this is all the lightning strikes that they have at the casino. Here, I'll show you, like, one of my favorites. See, nobody ever asks me. Well, this was one of my favorites, best bet at the casino. Okay? So here, I'll show you. I always play a million. So this is what the slot machine looks like. See? Then you spin it. But you really want to get the bonuses. See, I didn't get no bonus that time. These literally look just like the slot machines at the casino. Okay? But anyway, some of you have your Farmville and Farmtown. You know what my husband does not play anymore? I'm not asking about it in forever. Is Township. He just one day just stopped playing that game, Township. I have to ask him about that today. But TikTok is different. Like, I can sit here and watch this show and just be like, spin, 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 and watch my show. Everybody that I know Caroline, Nikki, everybody on the TikTok, Facebook Marketplace, everything. And then they'll be like, well, I didn't watch the last 15 minutes of the show. I was watching TikToks. Well, don't cry me a river because you didn't think it was a good show. So anyway, last night I was telling Nikki, I said, you need to watch Mayor of Easttown. Oh, I think I'm going to try it again tonight. I said, but girl, you got to pay attention to it. It's that good, but you got to pay attention to it. It's got so many twists and turns. So I talked to her, and then I was talking to Tawny Jane, because Tawny Jane, anyway, she was taking care of business after she got home and stuff yesterday. So she's like, well, what's Nikki watching? I said, well, we were going to watch Life After Lockup. I said, but I want to watch this. I want to get caught up on this thriller that I'm watching, Revival. Why can I never introduce anything to Tanya? She goes, I'm already caught up on it. I go, you started watching it already? I go, you are a liar. She goes, I am already caught up on that show. Every show, she watches it as soon as it comes out. So I said, she goes, well, what did you recommend? I said, well, Nikki wanted a really, really good mystery thriller. She goes, what did you recommend to her? And she goes, I said, Mayor of Easttown. She goes, oh, one of the best thrillers. She goes, I love that thriller. I go, she tried it 3 times. She couldn't get into it. She goes, how did Nikki, she couldn't get into it? She goes, was she paying attention to it? I said, funny you should ask. She just started laughing. Tanya's like, yeah, I'm the same way. Because Tanya watched reality shows while she's cleaning out the pantry and stuff like that. And then she doesn't remember. But last night we were getting into, what are the neighbors doing? The new neighbors are over there and they're like doing something with her sunflowers. They just pulled her sunflower down and looked at it and smelled it, and they're walking up their front porch. I wish they would move in. I love these people. They are so nice. Alex and I hung out at the pool with them 2 days, and then I've hung out at the pool with them 2 days. They sit at the pool for hours and they read and they listen to music. They're the only ones besides my husband that actually bring a speaker to the pool. I live. I love that. It reminds me of the old days of the beach and the pool and stuff like that. But anyway, Nikki and I were cracking up last night. We were the only ones up. So, what was I going to say? So yeah, so last night I watched Revival. So when I finally got settled down and stuff like that, I read a little bit of my zombie Fallout book, and then I watched Revival. Oh, I'm not completely caught up, because the 8th episode, which was supposed to be out, it might be out on the Sci-Fi channel, but it's not up on Peacock yet, because I think it came out the night before. So it was going to come out at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, okay. So I watched episode 7. It's really good. Somebody said they got to the 5th episode. Somebody commented on my video and they said I got to the 5th episode and then I couldn't watch anymore. I totally understand it. It's not for everybody. Nikki started it and she's like, it's not for me. I'm like, okay. But anyway, but it's a really, it gets really good. I can't believe it only has well, now I have 3 more episodes. The 7th episode gets really, really good. Really, really good. But I don't think it's for everybody. I will say that. I would say there's some kind of supernatural kind of stuff that happens. I think for me, it was kind of I kind of wish you wouldn't have done that. I mean, it's supernatural from the beginning because it's dead people coming back to life. Tanya said to me last night, we were talking on the phone, she goes, I love those shows where dead people come back. I go, oh my God, Tanya, I was just talking about that earlier, me too. And we were talking about the Glitch show and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so then I started, last night I was like, Nikki's like, which one of your shows are you going to watch? Because you're watching so many shows. Because I'm watching, hold on a second, on my list, weekly TV. Revival. Well, these are the shows I'm binging that are already out. Hightown, Ozark, Outer Banks, and The Strain. So I said, well, I think I'm going to start Broadchurch. Because everybody keeps on telling me to watch Broadchurch, and I really, really want to watch it. And she hadn't even heard of it. And I was like, Tanya said she watched it on BritBox a long time ago. Tanya has BritBox. She loves it. All them British thriller shows and stuff like that. Here's a FedEx trick. Come in. I got my Happy Wax subscription box yesterday. I don't think I'm going to renew it. It's an expensive... Wasn't for me. They kept on going. It's an expensive subscription box. I really like the Happy Waxes when I first got them. I don't really think, unless you put tons of them in there, they put off much of a throw at all, in all honesty. I think the boxes are fun. I think the names of the scents are fun. But it seems like when I first started getting them, they smelled stronger than they do now. Like, you literally have to kind of stand over it to even smell them. So, I don't know. But anyway. It's just my opinion. That's my opinion. So, I started watching Broadchurch last night. Okay, I watched the first 3 episodes. First of all, I love Olivia Colman. She's probably one of my favorite actresses of life. I did not realize, like, when I saw that Olivia Colman was in it, somebody told me, or somebody said Olivia Colman's in it. Did you not know that? When I knew that, I thought she just played like a side character. I didn't realize she's like one of the detectives in it. And she's so, I don't know when the show came out, but I mean, she's so young in the show. But anyway, I started watching it. Can somebody please tell me what this show is like? Or is there another one that, I don't know, but I started watching it and I was like convinced I'd watched this before. There is some other show. So if you watch Broadchurch, I'm not going to ruin it for you. First of all, I'm only on the first, I just finished the first 3 episodes. But it's about this boy, okay? And he's like 11. His name's Danny. They live in this small town, okay, in England. And there's this huge cliff that overlooks a beach. And they find him on the beach the next day. He's not at school. He didn't do his paper route and stuff like that. And they find him on the beach. And so at first they speculated that he like jumped or that he fell. Then they think maybe somebody pushed him. Then it looks like somebody placed him there to make it look like that happened. Okay? But I'm watching this and I'm like, I swear to God, I have watched a show. Like, I know I watched some limited series, 6 or 8 point show that took place in Ireland or England or someplace where somebody died in a very similar manner and ended up on a beach or a rocky cliff below a cliff like that. I remember it. I can remember the end of it, like 2 people standing up there and the one person like confronting the killer and being afraid. Am I thinking, there's also a book that I read by, maybe I'm thinking of the book. What's the guy's name? Stephen Graham something. He's a horror writer. Stephen, not King. Stephen Graham. I think it's Stephen Graham. Stephen Graham Jones. What are the books? Yes. My Heart is a Chainsaw. One of the books is kind of like that too, but I feel like I watched it in a show. I'm almost positive. Is there another show, if you've watched all of these shows, is there another show that the premise is almost exactly like Broadchurch? Because I swear to God, when I was watching it, I was like, have you watched this before? I mean, there was like several moments in the first episode. Maybe I just watched the first episode. But I feel like I watched some show where there was, like, the conclusion, they kept on going back to this cliff. And there was some conclusion where they were like, I feel like it was like a woman and she was afraid he was going to push her over the cliff and like she had figured out he had done it or something. And it was like one of these like 6 or 8 part mystery series. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? And then I looked, because, okay, so last night I was looking up all these shows that were like Mayor of Easttown. So I screenshot a bunch of them. Okay. So these are the shows, the ones that I liked. The Night of, has anybody heard of this show? The Night of, it came out in 2016. Okay. The Fall, people have recommended that to me before. Happy Valley. The Missing. And that's it. But from the shows that I don't already have on my list, there's a show called Top of the Lake. I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list of shows to binge. And I was like, is that the one? Let me look this up. Show about person who is murdered. Was it? I feel like maybe it was a book I read, maybe now. Murdered by falling off a cliff onto beach. It's gonna, you know what it's gonna pull up? It's gonna pull up Broadchurch. Oh, it pulled up Untamed. That's so interesting. Death on the Beach. No. I have no idea what it is. It's not pulling up any of these. The Survivors. It's old. Whatever I'm talking about has been out for years. I mean, not like 20 years, but it's been out for probably... The camera stopped. Am I really at an hour already? I'm going to be so sad to leave you today. But anyway, last night I watched the first 3 episodes of Broadchurch. Loved it. Love it. Each episode, or each season it's 3 seasons and it's 8 episodes each. So, yeah, and then in between there I'm going to watch episodes of The Strain and Ozark and... What's the other one I'm watching? Oh, Hightown. I was just talking to Tony about that last night. And I was like, have you watched... I said, oh, I started a show that you would really, really like. And I said it's called Hightown. She goes, oh, Eric and I watched every season of it. We loved it. I go, girl, I can't tell you about any show. She's watched every show that I tell her to watch. She's like, no, I love that show. We were talking about our friend that moved to Oakland. And she's like, does that not... It reminds us so much. The main character reminds us of her so much. And so she's like, oh my God. She's like, I was like, it reminds me so much. And she's like, oh my God, me too. So anyway, so yeah. It got really sunny outside. It's really nice. My stomach still hurts, but not as bad as it did before. I wish it would stop hurting. I think because of having kidney stones and having pancreatitis, that like anytime, it doesn't feel like it hurts more than, although I did earlier, I felt nauseous. I think anytime something's wrong with my stomach, I now kind of go into like medical anxiety, panic mode. You know, I try not to Google stuff. I don't know if that's from having something serious happen before that I'm constantly like go to, like, is it going to be, I mean, like, am I going to have to go to the hospital? Like, that's always my first fear. It's like, am I going to have to go to the hospital again? Like, you know, it wasn't like I just woke up and I had like a little stomach ache. Like, I hurt this morning. It was bad. And I think that's always my fear, is my go-to is like, oh my God, am I going to have to go to the hospital? Am I going to do this? Am I going to be like admitted to the ICU again? Like, you know, like, is it going to be kidney stones? Like, is it going to be some other weird thing that, like, I feel like in the last couple years, you know, I've had all this different stuff, and I'm like, can I just have a year where I don't have to like go to the hospital at all? I will say it makes me very, very, you know, grateful daily on my health. I feel so much for, you know, those short stints of stuff that I went through, as horrific as they were. The kidney stones were horrible. The pancreatitis was horrible. But the lesson that I got from that was the gratitude for my daily health, because, and I know so many of you guys out there have it, and I know so many people that in my personal life have chronic health issues, you know, and can't work and can't go out and do things and whatever, and just to get out of bed and just get dressed for the day is a lot for them, you know? And even like having something for like a week or a month or whatever is not a true appreciation for what that's like. But I do think it gives you a glimpse into a small glimpse into what some people's lives look like, enough to appreciate. It's one thing for me to be like, I don't feel great today, I'm sick. It's another thing for me to like just sit and like, I don't know. I feel like in the past, I've lived so much, you know, like, I mean, years and years ago, you know, 15, 20 years ago, so much in just like my whole day, I'll be like, I don't feel good, I don't want to do anything today. You know, well, there's a lot of people out there that wish they felt as good as you feel right now when you don't feel well. You know, I think about that to myself. Like, even though I don't feel great, like I feel the way that I'm sure a lot of people out there wish they felt. You know, so it's not an excuse to just like not do anything today when there's people out there that feel a lot worse than you and are doing a lot more than you. So, I don't know, it's just, it's a good appreciation for it. But other than that, yeah, today I was going to film, actually, I wasn't planning on filming a bunch of videos on my other channels. I was planning on doing a review video. And my review video was going to be about the ice cream. I looked at them, it's not vanilla ice cream. I looked at the box last night. They're much cooler than I thought they were. The caramel, I always say caramel. The caramel popcorn ice cream sticks. I should pull them up and show them to you guys. They look so good. The battery just went to the halfway mark, so I'm going to have to end this in a second. But I was going to do that review so I could have that ice cream this weekend, but I'm not feeling great anyway, and I'm probably not going to want some sugary treat. So, caramel, popcorn, ice cream cake, ice cream bars. Does it pull them up? No. Shopping. No, but it sure did bring up the 100 grand. Ice cream bars. I can't believe it doesn't bring these up. Let's pull up Costco. Costco. Did not pull them up at Costco. That's interesting. All it pulled up was these. Light ice cream. Sea bars. I don't know about that. But I was going to do that review today, and I was going to do my vlog. But I'm not going to do that review today. I'll just save it till next week. I got a bunch of stuff. If you missed the review channel, I miss doing the reviews. If you missed the review channel, next week is going to be the day that because I am going to be bumping out the reviews next week. I'm going to be bumping out the reviews next week. So, yeah, today I am just going to, let me get this vlog up, and then we're going to watch probably a movie, a TV show. I'm just hanging out, relaxing, I'll probably take 2 naps today. Watch one with the pups, you know, take a couple naps, watch some shows, watch some movies, The battery died before I even got to the end. Okay, I'm not going to vlog for any longer. I just wanted to kind of finish this thing up. I had to go get another battery. Oh, it's so hot. I went inside, and Alex is watching some Love Island UK, I don't know, season 1 or 2 or something like that. But he's like holding Walter like a baby, and Otis is like sitting on his lap, and Otis is facing this way. And I said, what are they doing? Are they being good? And he's like, yeah. He's like, Otis can hear you outside talking, and he's like going like this with his head the whole time because he can hear you out there. I said, he goes, he's done it for the last hour. He's heard you like out there talking the whole time. He just keeps on going back and forth like this with his head because he can hear you talking. That's so cute. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna go hang out with them. I'm hoping that when I stood up to go get this battery, my stomach, it feels better. Alex was like, is it maybe like a muscle or a cramp? I'm like, it might be, because I was telling him, he's like, how's your stomach doing? I said, it feels better since I've been sitting out there vlogging. I said, it still hurts. And he goes, is it maybe a muscle or cramp? I said, it might be. God, my biggest fear is always appendicitis. I'm like, God, I don't want to have appendicitis. My ex had a ruptured appendix, and that is always my total fear. My mom dad still tells this story, but I think it was maybe before I was born, and they were living in Evanston, because my dad did his medical residency at Northwestern. I'm sure I've shared this story before. But my dad was working at, I can't remember the name of the hospital. Anyway, Cook County Hospital, whatever the downtown hospital is in Chicago. And so he and my mom were asleep, and he woke up, and he knew that the pain that he had was his appendix. And so he drove himself into Chicago from Evanston. I mean, it's not a long drive, but had the operation saw the doctor did the operation on his appendix, stayed there and came home. And my mom thought that he was like on a work shift, and he came home, drove himself home the next day. This is who my dad has been his entire life, okay? My dad could have like a major medical thing and would probably not tell you till like 3 months later. Oh, that time that I was in the hospital. What are you talking about? Like that's... But my mom and my dad would always tell that story. My stepmom now still tells it, because she's like, yeah, your dad hasn't changed at all. Like, that's who he is. I mean, my dad, like, drove himself to the hospital, had the surgery, drove himself home the next day, and everything like that. Anyway, I mean, once they had cleared him, obviously. But anyway, but that's always my biggest fear, is that it's like appendicitis. Because my dad, like, when I was growing up, he'd tell that story and be like, well, what does that feel like? And he'd be like, you'll know when it happens, and it's on the right-hand side. Well, the pain is on my right-hand side. So anytime the pain is on, like, radiates, he's like, your belly button to your right, whatever. Anywhere, wherever it is. I always, like, freak out about that. But, okay, I'm going to go inside, and we are going to rest and relax and watch movies and TV shows. And, but maybe it is a muscle cramp. Maybe I just, like, pulled myself or pulled something last night. Maybe I did, like, when I was taking them outside last night or something. Anyway, But I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday. Let me know what you are doing this weekend in the comment section below. Probably a lot of you are school supply and school clothes shopping, because I know a lot of people's kids started school last week and a lot of your kids start school this week. Fall is but around the corner. You better be picking out your Halloween costumes. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you're doing in the comment section below. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.